Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. So, this is my second day coming on here on this channel doing my videos. I hope everybody's thriving. I have been looking at all of the smaller YouTube content creators and they are doing a phenomenal job. I give kudos to everybody who's out there putting in work, not giving up, because let me tell you, I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. You got to have some thick skin to be in this game. You can't want to give up because I've wanted to give up. When you start looking at, how many views you have, how many, well, I don't really look at the watch hours. You can kind of tell how many watch hours you got by how many views you have. And then you try not to be overwhelmed with the low subscriber count. So, in that, what I say is that's where gratitude comes in. We just have to be grateful for what we have. If we get one subscriber and that one subscriber views our videos over and over and over, we have to be grateful to them. And so I just want to say that I'm grateful and I'm thankful for everything. I'm grateful for the subscribers that are on their way. I'm sending out gratitude ahead of time, and I'm thankful ahead of time. And I'm more importantly, I'm grateful for those who are here, and I'm grateful for those who have taken the time to look at my videos. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Help your fellow sister grow in this area. So I'm excited to come on here every single day and talk to you guys because it's not hard, especially if you like to talk. And I like to talk, but I also like to talk about some things that have some substance. And I have a life changing story that I want to share with you guys. So, prayerfully, many people catch this video and watch it and take to heart what it is I'm sharing here. Now, for me, I like to cater to everybody, but this particular story, maybe those who are disabled or have disabilities or autoimmune illnesses, they can resonate and they can relate to this story. Now, when I talk about gratitude, gratitude is the ultimate. You want to always be grateful for everything. We take so many things for granted. Putting on a pair of shoes, we take for granted. Being able to walk to the store, we take it for granted. Being able to jump in a car and drive somewhere, we take it for granted. Being able to see, we take that for granted. There's a lot of people that are blind. Being able to talk and communicate, we take that for granted. So if you are thinking about doing a YouTube channel, just think of how many of those attributes you already have to get started. You can see, you can talk, you can get on here and you can tell the world your story. They say talk about your job. Talk about something that you know that can be of a benefit to others. Well, a piece of my story and my life that I wanted to share briefly, I'm going to condense it a little bit. But back in February 2016, I began to get sick. Now, backtrack a little bit. In December 2015, I was having the time of my life. I was actually in Jamaica at the end of that year, bringing in the new year. So over there, it was fantabulous. All of the dancers, they were festive with their outfits on. They had this array of seafood that you could eat from, just a buffet. And then at the end, at the countdown, it was 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! So I'm over there, I'm partying, having a good time. Everybody was so nice. It was a beautiful resort. So brought in the new year in Jamaica, right? Come home. Oh, backtrack just a little bit more one more time. So around November, me and a couple other friends, we had did our vision board. So we had that vision board. I had my vision board all ready to go for 2016. I buy the trifold boards from Dollar Tree. I had on the left hand side, I had my financial goals written and, visualize money and all that type of thing on that side. In the middle was my life goals, motivational speaker, just everything along the lines of what I wanted my life to look like. I don't know if I was YouTube, being a YouTuber wasn't on my vision board at the time because back then I wasn't even really into looking at YouTube, so that wasn't on there. But just other life goals were on there, but definitely motivational speaking was on there. And I had no idea why I felt like I wanted to be a motivational speaker, but that was on there. And then on the other side was the love life. How you make that hard? Yes. I wanted to be married. I put the date on there. I put pictures of different weddings, the little, the Cinderella carriage, the visualiz- visualizations of the man. So all of that was on this vision board, and I had a nice vision board. So that was, like I said, around November 2015. So I had all this geared up, ready to enter into 2016, guns ablazing, just ready to go. Well, like I said, brought in the new year in Jamaica, got back home. So it seemed like in January, I started to become ill. I was having this burning sensation on the inside of my right thigh. I went to the doctor 3 different times trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. They couldn't give me an answer. They prescribed me some medication, though. They're notorious for that. So they prescribed me some medication. This is why you need to know your body good, also. That just didn't sit well with me. I felt like, no, this medication this is not it. There is something else definitely wrong. I don't know what, but I guess only time will tell. And time will tell it did. So anyway, after going to the doctor several times, I I just gave up. And I was just sick at home in the bed. I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't hold anything down, not even water. And so that was terrible. I was so weak, y'all. I had to have my mother come over and help with my children because at the time I had two younger children still in school. I was so weak I couldn't even get up to take them to school. I couldn't fix them any dinner. I couldn't care for them. I could barely care for I couldn't even care for myself. So my mother came over to assist me with the children, taking them to school, cooking for them. One day I had to use the restroom. So I was in my little apartment. The bathroom wasn't too far from the bedroom. So you have the urge that you have to pee. So I got up and drug myself into the bathroom to go sit down to urinate, only to sit down on the toilet and nothing would come out. So I thought that's weird. So I had to wait. I could feel the urge, but nothing would come out. So I finally said, okay, well, I guess not. I got up to head back, excuse me, to head back to my bed, and bam, my leg gave out. One of my legs gave out, and I fell right at the corner of the bed, but I was able to get myself back up and get over into the bed. I thought, okay, that's really weird. Something is not right. Something absolutely is not right. And so I contemplated, sometimes you don't really want to call the paramedics because you don't want all this activity, these lights, these brights, the sirens and all of that, and they wheeling you out in the gurney and all that. So, but I said, I think you need to call the paramedics to myself, right? So I said, okay, girl, we gonna call the paramedics because this ain't right. You can't hold no food down. You've been sick for the past 2 weeks. You can't even use the bathroom. When you're on your way back from the bed, you fell. That sounds like a recipe for disaster or something that's just not right. Call the paramedics. Explain to them very calmly what had transpired. They come. Ooh, them firemen be fine. I don't think it's not a bad looking fireman out there. Anyway, I was like, ooh, look at them. So anyway, the firemen come, they get there first. So they come, I'm explaining to them, then the paramedic people come. They tell them what I've told the paramedics, the firemen tell the paramedics what I told them. So what they did was they put me on the gurney and I lived in an apartment. It was up a flight of stairs. So they put me on the gurney. This the kind that can go down the stairs, and they whisked me off to the hospital. Get to the hospital, and you know you sitting in the triage room waiting on the doctors to come in to talk to you and ask you a whole bunch of questions. I'm in there, so I'm sitting up at the edge of that bed, at the hospital table, bed, whatever, and it seemed like my brain was telling my feet, or my legs to kick, and there was no action. There was nothing going on, and I thought, I know I am not tripping. My legs they wasn't connecting. Needless to say, so when the doctor came in, I explained that to him too. So then they rushed me off to have MRIs done. So I had an MRI done, several tests they ran. But let me back up a little bit. So as I sat there and there was no movement, guess what? From my feet all the way up to my waist, I was then paralyzed, just like almost like that, completely paralyzed, no feelings, no movement. So fast forward, they did the MRIs, they did some other tests, and what they do was take this information and they send it off to the Mayo Clinic. And this is a condensed version that I'm giving you guys. And again, it ties back into being grateful for every single thing that we have and that we come across, and even what we experience. So they had to do a lumbar puncture. Ooh, anybody ever have any children and you had a spinal tap where they stick this big old ugly needle in near your spine to get fluid? Oh, that's painful. Oh, it was painful. So they had to do that, but I had to get the test done because I had to find out what was wrong. Well, that takes a couple of days. They send it off to the Mayo Clinic. Information comes back to the doctor. Doctor comes in, have his white coat on with his clipboard. Hi, Mrs. True. Yes. Now, mind you, by this time I'm completely paralyzed from the waist down. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm in shock because I never really cried about it. It was just um, oh well. And I felt like this too. I never was depressed from what happened to me because I felt like if I got depressed, how is that going to help benefit me? So that's another thing we want to keep in mind. When things seem tough, don't let depression sit in. We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh to keep from crying sometimes, even if you don't really want to laugh. You have to. So he came in. He said, "Well, Your test results came back and you have what's called Devick's disease. And I'm looking like a deer in headlights, like, okay, well, what is that? And so he goes on to explain what Devick's disease is. It's now more commonly known as short version NMOSD, which stands for neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder. So, went from Devick's disease to NMO to NMOSD. There is no cure for it. There are only treatments to prevent you from having any type of a relapse. So here I am in the hospital, completely paralyzed. Just been told I have this relentless, evil autoimmune disease that there's no cure for. Imagine that life. You couldn't see the forest from the trees at that point. You looking like, okay, my life just got turned upside down. It was terrible. It was horrible. When you go through something like that, you definitely want to make sure you have a support system because that also helped keep me strong. I had a great support system and I had great doctors, physical therapists. Hell, I even had to get, a mental therapist because going through something like that, you need some mental help. Also, you need some tools in that toolbox. And so I got all the help that I could get. Paralyzed, diagnosis, what's next? Okay, we need to figure out, we need some treatments. So with each treatment, I was away from my house a total of 4 months away from my children. 2 months in the hospital, 1 month at a skilled nursing facility, and another month in a big rehab facility. The rehab facility, they had such rave reviews. I just knew I was going to leave there walking. I was excited to go there. I couldn't wait to go there. I just knew, okay, they're going to get me back walking. I'm going to be good. Didn't happen. The only thing they was able to do was teach me how to live my life in a wheelchair. How to maneuver, how to get from the wheelchair to the bed, from the bed to my bedside commode, from the bedside commode to the couch. When I get down to the car, how to get from my wheelchair to inside the car. And you got to have some upper body strength when you're in that situation because everything else at the bottom is dead and you carrying it around. So you have to, um, got to have that upper body strength. Transferring from those boards, oh my gosh, that was a task. But I did it. I pat myself on the back. I did really well. I never gave up on myself. So if I could go through that, I'm not done with the story, but I'm just saying, if I can go through that and be here today to talk to you and tell you about it, you most definitely can get through making some YouTube videos, showing your face, showing up talking, finding something to talk about, something else of substance to talk about. So I have to just weave that in as I'm talking to you. So they taught me how to, live my life in a wheelchair. But I just that just couldn't be the end. I had to I had to walk again. I had to walk again. You talk about envisioning and wanting something so bad. That's the same thing we have to do here on YouTube. We have to envision it and we have to want it so bad to where it finally comes to life. It came to life. It came to life for me. I remember I would go to the doctor's office and I would always ask the doctor, would I ever walk again? He doesn't know the recovery rate for the autoimmune disease is 1/3 recovers partially, 1/3 recovers fully, 1/3 does not recover at all. So I like to say I'm so grateful and so thankful today. I put myself in a category of the 1/3 that recovered fully. Now, do I have some residuals from what happened? Yes, because here's what happened. There were lesions that formed on the spine, certain areas of the spine, which caused the partial paralysis. Yeah, some people that go blind from this autoimmune disease. And then you have some people that were paralyzed all the way from the neck down. So when I say I'm so grateful, every single day I'm grateful. And that's why I try to live my life on a positive note every single day. I try to avoid conflict because what good are they going to do me? It's not going to do me any good. So I try to be humble. I'm only human. Sometimes I may fall off, but I get right back on. And so that's where empathy comes in, trying because you never know what somebody is going through. You never know what somebody's going through. But that's just part of this journey. There's a lot more to the story that I'd like to come back on here and share. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit all when you hit the notification bell so that way you get all notifications of when I put up new videos. But I share that story because it's very instrumental in life. It doesn't necessarily have to talk to people who are paralyzed, but it speaks to resilience, perseverance, and and it's just a motivation for those that are in this space trying to build their YouTube channels and who may want to give up. So I pray, share the video because I really want people to be inspired by my story because today I can walk. I can walk. I didn't know if I would. The doctors didn't know if I would. But something deep down inside of me knew, something up here knew that I would walk again. And I am. So stay the course, stay determined, be resilient. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Just imagine if I would have had people telling me, girl, you ain't gonna ever walk. Even the doctors. What if the doctors wouldn't have said, sorry, but you're never gonna walk in? Which they do tell some people that. And that's awful. They should never do that. And it's awful if anybody ever says that you can't excel in YouTube. Yes, you can. We see content creators doing it every day. I'm going to be the next one. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to show up here every single day and I'm going to talk to you guys about something different. But I want you to be motivated and I want you to be inspired. So don't give up. We are all in this together. There's enough out here for everybody. So again, give the video a thumbs up. I'd love to hear comments in the comments section. Any questions you may have with respect to my journey. But I have more about the journey that I'll come back and tell you about. So make sure you stay tuned in, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And just know it gets better. We just have to stay the course, okay? See you later. Bye.